First off, is a thing that's on everybody's mind right now. We cannot escape it, and that is COVID-19. And so one of the biggest questions I've been getting recently is socializing a puppy during COVID-19. And so Ian asked that, Linda asked that, Jay asked that, Ruben, Nathan, Grace, Sally, and one person that didn't submit their name. But all of you guys asked about socializing a puppy during our social distancing. And that's a valid question. It is a difficult conundrum to overcome. You know, we talk a lot about, we trainers talk a lot about socialization should look like, 100 people, 100 novel situations in 100 days. Try to get them around off leash around other puppies and friendly adult dogs. We can't do that during social distancing. Training centers are closed. We can't commiserate with groups of people. I'm completely shut down. Besides this virtual stuff, I'm not doing any of my group classes or my private sessions anymore. And so it's tough, man. But a few things, it's possible. So here's some things to think about. So one is that the studies that were done years and years ago about puppy development, about 30, 40 years ago, Scott and Fuller are the names that you should look up with that. That we were starting to discover that puppies had unique developmental stages just like kids do. Like in the Renaissance, they started to discover that babies were babies, kids were kids. They weren't just small adults. And you really could see that shift actually in the artwork that came out. And it was the same kind of thing with puppies. Puppies are not just small dogs. They're puppies. They're a unique thing all unto themselves. What we discovered during those times when we're really kind of pulling this together is that even minimal exposure to novel situations is hands down better than isolation. Like even just minimal completely is on a totally different planet than isolation. So in some of those studies, they would have dogs that would only see like a man from the chest up from a door, and they were way more confident and resilient than puppies that had never seen a person or interacted with a person. So what we can do during COVID-19 is we can do protected socialization. Normally, we recommend direct socialization and direct contact as long as the puppy's willing. But right now, we work on protected socialization where we do these things at distance, and we appeal to the things that they see, we appeal to the things that they can hear, and we appeal to heavily the things that they can smell, because dogs use their nose almost more than any of their other senses to really make some kind of sense of the world. So here's some examples of protected contact. Down the road from us, we have a Roadhouse Grill. And of course, they're closed. They're not doing table service anymore. But I mean, they're only doing curbside pickup, where you place the order online and then you come and then you go, hey, I'm here, and they bring it out to you. Or, somebody will come and take your order. That place is popping. Like every time I drive by it, that parking lot is absolutely jam-packed full. So what I would do if I had a puppy is I would order some food. I would go park in the parking lot with the windows down a little bit and let that puppy just see the people, hear the cars, smell the environment, the food, the smells of the outside, the restaurant, the cars, to hear the people talking, to hear the motors running. I mean, there's a lot of things happening. As long as they're not being avoidant or scared, we could sit there and have lunch together with that puppy and then like, okay, we were here for like an hour, let's bail out. That's a wonderful socialization experience. If you have some construction happening down the street, that's a great one to go out in your front yard and just watch it from 100 yards away and be like, sweetheart, that's a jackhammer. Treat, 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 treat. See that guy with the hard hat? Treat, 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 treat. See that lady with that slow sign? Treat, 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 and have a nice experience. And that dog is like, it was kind of spooky, but the buffet was fantastic. That's good protected socialization. So there's a lot of, depending on your area, depending on how strict your social distancing guidelines are, that's a wonderful opportunity to do some social distancing and some socialization at the same time. So one thing I'm going to do is I always put in my YouTube videos show notes. So at the bottom, we have some links and resources where you can explore further the things that we talk about. And I've linked to an article by Puppy Culture. So Puppy Culture is run by Jane Killian, and Jane Killian has done a lot of great work with puppies. She runs Puppy Culture. It's a successful website. She's written some books. I definitely recommend you check out her stuff. But she put out a very well-written and detailed article about socialization and COVID-19. I mean, honestly, it was so complete that I felt like anything that I would do to address that would just be a parody of what she had already done. So I've been sending all of my friends and students and clients to her article, and I've linked to that in the YouTube description so that you can go and kind of dive deeper into this. But it's a very relevant question, and I'm glad you guys asked that.